Wagwan guys, if you're a YouTuber, freelancer, remote worker, or you earn online in one way or the other, once the new Nigerian tax reform kicks in from January 2026 and with the tax authority getting restructured, one thing you don't want is to be on the wrong side of the law or to trigger a tax audit. And audit is stress. Some creators like Pella had gotten in trouble with the tax authority, and you don't want to overpay tax just because you don't understand the structure or you don't structure your money properly. So in this video, I am breaking down everything you need to know from how freelancers and creators at any income level can actually structure themselves properly, the deductions to reduce your tax legally, and ways to receive maybe like YouTube money or Upwork money for less, and how to audit-proof, or how not to trigger an audit, to ensure that the deductions that you made in your tax report are actually justifiable. In the last 4 days, I spent at least 2 hours listening to Taiwo Oyedele from one conference to the other, and honestly, my perception of that tax has changed a bit, because I realized that his own intention, I don't know what the intention of the politicians are, his own intention as leader of that tax thing is pure. So let's enter into this matter fully now. Let's talk about how you should legally structure yourself to avoid paying excess tax. Whether you are earning small, medium, or big income online, one thing is consistent: you are actually a business, most likely a sole proprietor, even if you don't know it. If you earn online, your business income should not be mixed with your personal income. For example, you have a 9-to-5 job and you create YouTube videos. Now you are earning on YouTube, you are bringing in your YouTube money into the same bank account that you are receiving your salary in. That is not the best option for you. You are going to actually pay more than you normally should. You know one thing about this tax law? There are some provisions in the tax law for you, but if you don't know, you might still fall victim of overpaying tax. So you need to study the tax reform, follow up conversations on it. So what is the best approach for you to structure yourself? I would say this: it depends on how much you can project that you earn. What did you earn last year? What did you earn upper year? What can you project that you will earn this year or in the next 3 years? So if what you are earning in a whole year is in the region of 200,000 naira to 10 million naira per year, just register business name. No need for incorporation. Because if you register as an incorporation, you are thinking that, zero tax on incorporation, right? But don't forget, when you want to bring out the money, you want to pay yourself, you are going to pay either, if you declare the paying yourself as a dividend, you will pay 10% tax plus other money that you need to pay, an auditor. You are also more susceptible to audit. I think I'll get into more of those details. And it's possible that at that rate, you are better off paying personal income tax as a business name. I'll get into the mathematics, because now I did some calculations and just played around with high figures, low figures, and then realized what I'm telling you right now. So if you are a business name, you are still taxed as an individual, yes, but now you can actually claim better. That means you are getting the advantage of being a business to a degree, and not the disadvantage of being a business of having to incur some other compliance fees. So as a business name, you can claim your business expenses. That means now as a YouTuber or as a freelancer, you can now claim that, you bought a new laptop. Then, how much is the new laptop? 2 million naira. You can do an amortization of that laptop and say, 4 years. So that means you debit 500,000 naira for it from your expenses every year for the next 4 years. And because you are treated as an individual, you can sell that laptop. Let me even leave that out. So the second thing is that using a business name also, you keep your inflows clean, and then you reduce your audit risk. There's a higher tenacity for tax agencies, for tax bodies, for tax authorities to want to audit you if you are an incorporation, because they believe you are a bigger guy than when you are just a business name. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then number 4, it also makes you look more professional, when you are dealing with people, especially for local business. But don't forget, this video, I'm focusing more on people who earn internationally, people who earn remotely, people who earn online, people who earn freelancing, people who earn via content creation. And the last one I'm going to talk about is that it is actually easier to maintain compliance when you're just registered as a business name. So that is okay for small businesses, small freelancers, for small YouTubers, TikTokers, editors, designers, copywriters, social media managers, remote workers, or anyone doing any online gig. Even, let me put it this way, even if you are doing Yahoo. I'm not encouraging that. I am never a supporter of that. One of the strong creeds of this YouTube channel is that you make money legitimately. But even if you make money illegitimately, you must pay tax. Like, it's not me that is saying it. The new reform says so. I don't want to go into that. Maybe I'll make another video on that, or maybe have a live video where I can be asked questions. But if you earn 10 million to 25 million, then now, at that point, you can start considering an incorporation. Like at that point, that's the point where you can now consider that, okay, you can even still continue with your business name or decide if you should register an LLC. That is an incorporation. Why? You are big enough to hire people to actually work with you, unlike most people that earn less than that. You understand what I'm saying? That are just probably a single person running the whole show. And number two, you actually gain limited liability. That is that you personally can't be sued for the wahala of your business. Then an incorporation actually makes you look more credible to big brands, especially if you are bidding locally, but then internationally too. So even for a remote job, when they want to pay you and they are paying into Speaking Pen International Limited versus Speaking Pen Enterprise. Do you understand what I'm saying? It makes you look more credible. Then you can also structure expenses more deeply. So for example, you can actually claim way higher for rent if you're an incorporation than you can for the other, for being charged personal income tax, maybe as an individual or as a business name. You may also benefit from the company side incentive. You know that if you are an incorporation, you pay zero tax. But don't worry, I'm going to talk about why I'm saying that it's still okay to go with a business name. If you are earning maybe like 3,200,000 to 10 million, it's okay to just stay with business name. I did the calculation. Will I be able to show the calculation in this video? I doubt, or I may. Okay, let's see. Let's see if the video is not getting too lengthy for the things I want to share with you. Okay, so someone asked on a TikTok live that I actually did recently that if online earners can actually use the presumptive tax for micro businesses. One, the presumptive tax thing, I had Taiwo Yedele talk about it. One, they've not finalized 100% how that is going to run. Then two, the presumptive tax thing is not ideal for online creators. So just stick with business name or limited liability company. If you earn from YouTube, for instance, pay attention to what I'm about to say. The best practice is to delete your personal, first clear out all your money, of course, then delete your personal AdSense that you have connected to your YouTube channel right now if you're already monetized. If you are not monetized, maybe skip this first step. Register a business name in Nigeria, then use that business name to create a domiciliary bank account, then connect that domiciliary bank account to the new AdSense. Then that AdSense is what you should connect to your YouTube or YouTubes, because many YouTubers that are monetized want to get monetized on other multiple channels. Do you understand? So create a business AdSense, then route all your earnings into your business domiciliary account that you created. This way, there is actually no mixing of your personal income, maybe the money you earn locally, maybe from other things you do with your YouTube earnings, which is actually your business fund. Then you can also use the same account. If you have other businesses, maybe like you freelance, you do YouTube, you can have the same business account running both. But if you can have separate, not bad, because sometimes it's actually better if you have multiple businesses. Maybe like you have an incorporation, you have a personal, like the more you can spread your revenue source. But if you are using a particular account for maybe just freelance, you want to stay with it with just freelance, you don't want to also use it for your personal stuff. I think I've flogged that enough. Then doing that, having like that business structure for your YouTube channel, I'm going to talk about for Upwork too, if time permits. It actually makes the tax man see your inflow and outflow easily, and you look more professional to those tax guys. Then your business income is very traceable, your book is balanced. That way, you stay away from being audited, whatever way you would have to put that. So you also avoid being questioned on your inflow, even if you withdraw your YouTube earnings in crypto. Yeah, you can actually withdraw your money in crypto. You don't know. AdSense is not the only way, but I don't think, maybe I'll make another video for that. If you guys request, if I see enough persons requesting that I do that, I will create a video for that. Even if you earn in crypto, you are expected to declare the money you earn voluntarily, because like there's a way they said they can track IP. I don't know, but I think people are saying that, okay, if you use decentralized wallets, it's untrackable. I don't know about that, or that's not the subject matter of this conversation. So whatever you do, one simple rule is this: if you want to stay in the good side of the law, your business income should eventually land in your business account, not your personal account. So if you have your way, it's even better if the money actually flows directly. So for instance, like instead of maybe like sending in the money to your personal account, then from your personal account to your business account, just send it direct to your business account, so your personal account has no question to answer. Because like whether you run an incorporation, whether you run a business name, you will still pay personal income tax. Because for incorporation, the money you make, fine, the company will not pay tax. But when you withdraw money, maybe like when you send money to yourself as the owner of the business, you will pay tax for your personal. Do you understand? Although like it gives you more flexibility and there are ways around that. Maybe we'll discuss that in another video. Let's talk about the expenses that creators can deduct. You can't deduct your personal expenses like your child school fees as a business if you are in an incorporated business, or as a business expenses if you are even a business name. You can't. It is not allowed. And if you decide to give, yeah, you give, but it will not actually be deductible in your tax. Then you know when you talk about something being deductible, like expenses you make being deductible, the more deductibles you can get, the less your taxable income. Imagine that you made let's say 10 million all through the year, and your expenses, your deductible expenses is like 8 million. That means out of the 10 million that came into your account, only 2 million is taxable. That means the whole 0% on the first 800,000, 15% on the next, it will be applied only on that 200,000. The other 8 million is gone. The 2 million is the only thing that will be taxed. Do you understand? So like you just want to get more. The more you can deduct, the better for you. You can spend the money on something and then you still cannot deduct it in your as deductible. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even as a business name. I hope you're understanding me. If you're understanding me so far, if I'm letting you know something that you've not maybe like come across on other videos, please let me know in the comment section, and please like this video. So for an expense to be allowed as a deduction under the Nigerian tax law, it must, one, be wholly. That is, the expenses must be entirely for the business, not for personal use. For example, paying an editor to finish a client work, is that editor paying that editor is strictly for your business. Then number two, the expenses must actually be exclusive. These expenses must be incurred only because of the business, not something that you would have paid for even if you are not running the business. If your business doesn't exist, and you will still have paid for that thing. So the kind of expenses that you can say, okay, this is exclusive to the business, that if I'm not running the business, I would not incur this cost, is maybe like something like maybe you pay for your Canva Pro subscription. Do you get for your content creation? Or your Premier Pro subscription, that is exclusive to your YouTuber business. So the third condition that they would allow you to deduct the money is necessity. The expenses must be necessary for carrying out your business operation. If the taxman considers the expenses unnecessary, they may not allow you to, even if you present it for deduction, they might cross it out. It needs to be something that you can't reasonably operate without it. For example, data, electricity, software too. These are necessary for a freelancer or a creator. Fourth condition that an expenses must meet before you can actually deduct it. The amount you spend must be reasonable for the purpose stated. For example, you couldn't have made maybe like 20 million naira in a year period, then you are saying that you spent 15 million naira on mobile data. That is not reasonable. That is excessive. It must be reasonable that someone can say, okay, if you are a company of this size. So if you are claiming maybe like 100,000 naira for data when you actually use maybe like 20,000 or 30,000, like the receipt that you present, that may also be flagged. That the receipt is showing that you only spend 20 to 30,000 per month, and now you are telling us you spend 100,000. Please explain. You understand? That is unreasonable. So deductible expenses actually include, but it's not limited to, things like data, fuel, electricity, software, subscription, AI tools, editing tools, cloud tools, your storage drive like Google Drive and the rest of them, your subscriptions, your laptop, your camera. Maybe you want to upgrade your camera, you want to buy a new camera, you want to repair something that gets spoiled. For example, like recently, my tubular battery for my inverter actually gave way. I'm actually not even thinking of repair at this point. I think I just got it last year, and it's not working. It's not working again. My inverter is showing me that there's an issue with it. Yeah, the cost of repair is deductible. Then note that the deductibles I am mentioning here are things that I feel are applicable to content creators and freelancers. So if you are not a content creator and a freelancer, you can just ensure that your deductible meets the 4 criteria I've just stated. Maybe like something like external hard drives. I buy external hard drive every other day because for content creation you might need it. Make a deductible for that. Then note that if you are paying just personal income tax and you don't have a business name, you will not be able to deduct that because it's not part of the legal deductible. Do you understand? But if you have a business name, you are allowed to make deduction because you are perceived as an individual that is doing business. That's why like business name is the sweet spot between personal and corporate. I hope you're understanding me. Like it's like the loophole. It is legal. The taxman knows, but watch it somehow we don't tell you. If you know it good, although he advise you to. The guy is actually very brilliant. So for sometimes it's like you pay less tax when you go and do the calculation. For example, he will tell you something like if you are an employee, you pay less tax. If you're earning maybe like 1 million naira, the difference is not substantial. Maybe because when you do the old calculation and new calculation for employees, maybe like the difference might be maybe like a 16,000 naira or a 15,000 naira or a 30,000 naira for a whole year. So for example, like if you are earning maybe like let's say 700,000, your present tax is already maybe like 120, 130,000 per month. So with the new tax, it might reduce maybe like from 120, 130 to maybe 118. You are still paying less, but not with that. You pay less tax. That Baba was. Okay. Talent fees is also something, maybe like you hire somebody to work for you, or a contractor, you paid somebody to come and clean up your office. All those are deductible when you're a business name or you're an incorporation. They are not deductible under just personal income tax. The amount you pay contractors, you outsource your freelance job, or you outsource maybe your editing, you outsource somebody to come and shoot you for your content. You went to shoot content somewhere, they ask you to pay. You ask them for a receipt. If they provide receipt for you, you can deduct it. You are using a virtual assistant, you have any form of assistant, designers, maybe you are developing your website for your course. Do you understand? Your studio setup, the things you are buying, you won't actually stop buying things as a creator or even as a freelancer, especially a creator. And maybe like you decide to run advertisements, promotion, your internet devices. So do you understand? You just keep buying and buying and buying. All creators can actually deduct this if they truly need or incurred this cost, as you might need to prove it or add receipts in your filing, and or something as simple as just a proper description in your bank statement of transferring it out and in, not necessarily like a complex filing. And that's one thing with incorporation. The degree of maybe like compliance, maybe like things like filing for incorporations, they are expected to be more jim. Do you understand? Or like maybe just a business name or personal income tax. Do you understand? So the more you earn, the more expenses you would naturally have, and the more taxable proportion of your income reduce. So chapter 5, why you must avoid tax audit, especially if you are big. Audits don't just start because you are earning money. They start because your books, your accounting is not looking aligned. People who actually get audit most times are people who earn substantially, people who miss their personal account plus business account, just mix everything together. People who don't have receipts, proofs for things they claim as deductions, people who have no structure that is appropriate for the kind of level they are or business they have. Imagine you are earning 100 million and nobody will even know that you are a business name or you are doing personal. People who have suspicious transfer, the way money is moving in your account is looking suspicious. People who look inconsistent. Here is actually the funny part. If your structure is actually clean, Even when you earn maybe like 30 million naira a year, it is not really a problem. But if your structure is not clean and the way you put things is not well put together, even 2 million naira can actually start triggering an audit for you. And they'll start looking at you like something fishy going on. And you don't want the taxman looking at you like something fishy going on. Do you understand? Also, digital platforms like Upwork, YouTube, Fiverr, and the likes may actually start reporting your earnings summaries, especially with global tax transparency reform in play now that the government is going to leverage. So you need to start playing the game ahead. So now I'm going to discuss how to pay very low tax legally. Wait, was Pasuma actually talking about legally? Oh, I've never thought about that. Let me give you the formula, the ways, the hack, the tricks to actually help you pay less tax. Note that your goal is not to reduce your earning, because you might start thinking that, let me start earning just 5 million. Let me start earning just 2 million so that I won't have to like enter a higher. No, because it is possible that somebody that 30 million naira is coming in for, and you that 5 million naira is coming in for, if you don't put your books together, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't get expert advice, or you don't use the service of a professional, you might end up paying more tax than the person earning 30 million. For example, like, okay, let me just give an hypothetical situation. You're earning 5 million naira, you're still under personal income tax. You did not register a business name or anything like that, and you cannot claim deductible. Then your taxable income is now maybe like 3 million naira. Then there's another person that earns more than you, that is times 2 of you, that earns 6 million naira. Remember, you are paying your taxable income is 3 million naira in your own case, and the person that earns 6 million naira registered as a business name, which is what I advised in this video, or let's say an incorporation, or let's use a business name. By the time they make all their deductibles, they deduct their expenses from the old 6 million naira. Maybe their expenses is in the region of, let's say, 4.5 million. So now what they have left, or by the time they even do some other this thing, let's say they have 2 million, so they have 2 million taxable. Your goal is actually to reduce your taxable income. So note that taxable income is what is left from your total earnings after you have removed expenses. So if you want your personal income tax to stay very low, even as low as maybe 0 to 400,000 naira annually, your taxable profit shouldn't exceed around maybe like 3.1 million, and that can be achieved by the right deductions, outsourcing jobs. When you outsource, like, do you get, like, that means it makes you incur more legal deductions. Do you get what I'm saying? And for example, like, if a freelancer is earning maybe like 7 million naira a year, they could deduct money for the outsourced job, the data, the fuel, the rent, the electricity cost, the laptop, they amortize it by years, and the software, the studio GS, the internet, the repair cost of that they incur. Do you get all these things actually make the expenses maybe like from that 7 million drop to like 3.5 million naira, or even below 2 million naira. Do you understand? Meaning very low tax for that person, and all of it is 100%, 101%, 200 and shut up, Sunday. It is legal. It is legal, or legally, like I said, Pasuma sings. Okay. Another instance is a creator earning 20 to 30 million naira per year. He or she can actually deduct a lot of things. It's big enough to hire some member of staff and paying video editors. He can amortize the cost of building a studio, rent of space and equipment and those kind of things. Deduct equipment, deduct travel costs. You know, Tayo I know once said that like he makes maybe like I think it was in a video, maybe he said he made like $6,000 or something. He spent about $6,000 to shoot a single content. I'm not sure I'm remembering the exact figure, but it is that massive, because the cost of booking his flight ticket and moving around and all that for just one video. Do you get? So if that video made him, let's say 8 million naira or 7 million, or maybe like he even makes 10 videos and one of his videos cost him that high. So his expenses, is not every content creator that can actually charge for travel. Yeah, if you travel, maybe you go to shoot content outdoor, like aside the fact that you've debited for your studio, maybe or even like, I'm even thinking of, you know, when you go to shoot outdoor content, those omota that used to come and harass somebody and say they want to collect money, I think they should go and get receipts. At least if they give me receipts, I would not lose the money money in two ways. Okay, so a creator can deduct money on maybe like money for ads to promote their channel, to promote their pages and all like that, subscription, Adobe, CapCut and the rest of them. So you can deduct fees for subcontractors that you outsource jobs to as a freelancer. Note, I've been saying creator. Yeah. Most of the things I say in this video apply to freelancers. I talk more about freelancers here. I also talk about creators, but I talk more about freelancers here. So my freelancers party, my freelancers body, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous of the creators that are here with us. And creators, I don't know what you guys use for me that I'm just talking about. But most of the things I say are applicable to the two classes of people. And if you have specific questions, you can ask me in the comments section. And please, at this point, I think it's okay if you help me like this video. Please. I just said in Yoruba that you should help me advertise what I'm selling. And by the way, your taxable income is far smaller than your gross income. Then if in the case where let's say like you make a loss, then your taxable income will be zero. Maybe like you spent, for example, for me, in my first year of running my YouTube channel, I did not make any money from YouTube in my first year, but then I spent in the region of 2 million naira on this YouTube channel, like buying equipment, paying for things to be constructed and like things like this thing here, and a number of things that I put in place. So that year, let's assume that that year filing my tax was what? I didn't make any money. So, so you cannot say your tax is minus 2 million. Your tax will be zero. And the good part is that with the new tax reform, like you can sum up your net profit and loss, some sort of like, I think you should check that out. And that's also what applies to crypto guys. So things to avoid so that you can remain at the good side of the law. Irrespective of what you earn, please avoid disguising business income as gift. Yes, if you do that, it favors you. But if they cash you that you are disguising business expenses as gifts, that's voila. Then this is something that guys already do, like hiding money in crypto. Yeah, this can also work for tax, but it is illegal. Like when money goes into crypto, they say they can track crypto, but it is more difficult for the taxman to track crypto than for them to track commercial bank transactions. So if you also do fake invoices, fake invoices is something people also do. Then don't forget that tax is not new. It is just that, we have a new reform. Fake invoices is like, okay, because I've made 5 million naira as profit, but I don't want to declare the 5 million naira. I now go and generate an invoice that said I bought an equipment of 6 million naira, so I can file to the tax authority that I made a loss. That is a false invoice. People actually do things like that to avoid tax. But don't forget that this time, like, Taiwo Yedele explained that the system has been designed in a way that it checks the transaction from the two ends. So if you lied that you bought a power bank for 6 million naira, if the seller says, he sold it to you for 1 million, and you said you bought it for 6 million, because this is how it works. In the seller's book, the seller is trying to claim that the amount he sold it is less, that he didn't really make a lot of money from that transaction, that a lot of money didn't come in from that transaction, so that he's going to pay less tax. The buyer, on the other hand, is trying to claim that, hey, I spent a lot of money on this tax authority. So the buyer is going to profit by upping the price. The seller is going to profit by lowering the price. So that way, both of them are forced to meet at the middle, which is the true value that they exchange. But if one of them lies, or the buyer said, okay, this thing, instead of saying that, okay, I bought it for 1 million, said I bought it for 6 million, it will trigger the tax system. If both of them can agree and lie and say it's 1 million that we bought and said, then there is no problem. The system will not detect. It doesn't mean that if they somehow find out, although how will they find out? Do you understand what I'm saying? That you just want to avoid things like fake invoicing, and also you don't want to leave maybe like your large business expenses maybe in your personal account. I think that one is something everybody should know by this time, like by this point in this video. Also, another thing that you should not do, or that I would advise you not to do, is that you want to avoid overpaying tax out of panic. I don't want to go to jail. Oh, I don't want to be penalized. I don't want to be fined. So you don't want to overpay tax out of panic. educate yourself the way you are doing right now, watching this video. Educate yourself. Watch a couple of all this Taiwo Oyedele guy. Like, honestly, I'm impressed by his explanations. Yeah, why it is not it's a bitter truth to swallow. Some things will not be pleasing to you, but you can understand his rationale. So you also don't want to mix up your side hustle and your main hustle income in one account. You want to separate it, yes, because you don't want to give extra money to the tax guy, especially maybe like if you have a salary job that's paying you and then you're also a YouTuber. Your salary that you are paid has already been taxed, so you are not paying any tax on that salary anymore. So don't go and make the mistake of calculating tax on your salary again. Then that means you are just dashing tax agency money. Do you get? And I think I've explained more about stuff like this in the other videos I've made. Please, you can check out those other videos. You would help me get view, and you would also help yourself get more understanding of this tax thing. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. I'm willing and open. I'm always checking this is the best place to contact me. Do you get? When you comment, I would surely respond. And if based on our conversation in the comment section, it warrants that maybe we take the conversation private, at that point we will. Then, oh yeah, I'm not a tax consultant. Yeah, you can check out this other video, I think here, on how to register your business name for free. I hope that by the time you are seeing this video, it's not already closed. So you can check it out now. Bye-bye.